What's up YouTube? Anything Billy here. On today's video, we'll be working on a 2011 Hyundai Santa Fe. We're going to be putting front brakes and rotors and rear brakes on this vehicle. So let's get started. Alright, so like to start off on my videos, the first thing you want to do before you get started is you want to take the brake cap off and put a rag over it. That way when you push in the piston calipers, that the air has less resistance to travel up to escape. So tools you'll need for this job is you will need a 14 millimeter socket and ratchet. The 14 will fit the front and the rear caliper bolts. You'll need a 17 millimeter socket and ratchet to fit the caliper bracket bolt. You will need a screwdriver. You will need lubrication for the slides, some type of piston compression tool, and no job is complete without the hammer. Alright, so we're here on the front of this 2011 Hyundai Santa Fe. This is just a straight brake job. Unless I run into any problems, just going to start at it. 14, 17, here we go.
Call him back. I literally clicked pause button and then I had it out, so he doesn't go.
Come on, don't do me like this. Are you serious? So as you can see, I can't use the socket or ratchet because of that bolt right there. The strut tower bolt's in the way, so I'm going to have to use a 17 millimeter. I'm going to have to use a 17 millimeter wrench. And what do I do with my hammer? What do I do with my hammer? Oh, right here. Make a little bit more, less room to maneuver it. But it still works. Well, I do not have a 17 millimeter ratchet wrench, so I'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. Ah, that's nice. That normally don't happen like that. One bolt. This off. it got screws. I didn't realize that these things have Phillips screws holding the caliper on. So 2 things extra you'll need to work with is a bludgeon screwdriver and a Phillips screwdriver to screw them back in. So now let's get these apart. Oh wow, that wasn't even tight. Nope, and this one wasn't even tight either. Either me hitting it broke them loose or they was already loose. So we'll go ahead and unscrew them like so. So I went ahead and cleaned off the rotor with the brake clean. And why do you want to do that for? Is because when these things are shipped, they have oil on them to keep them from rusting as they get shipped. So you just take your little bit of brake clean and just lightly wipe off all the oil. But it mentioned make sure you line up these little Phillips head screws, that way you can screw them back into place. These screws are nice as long as they come in and out easy. That way you don't have, that way it'll hold the caliper, or that way it'll hold the rotor on so it won't move. But if not, you'll have to put a lug nut on there to hold it. And see right here, somebody has put anti-seize on the studs. That's a no-no. Don't put any kind of lubricant oil or anything on the studs. If they're rusty, get a wire brush, clean them off. Because what that is when you go to torque the wheels on there, they don't torque right. They torque less than they should, which is more likely for the wheel to fall off. So don't lubricate. Don't put any kind of lubrication on the studs. Alright. So now that that's on, these slides feel really good, so we're not going to put any lubrication on them because they feel pretty good. So we're just going to leave them alone. Let's put this back on the floor. You can use the ratchet on the bottom. Just use the hammer to, let's give it a few taps. And we'll use the wrench from the top. Same thing. Alright, so now that we got that done, use your straight screwdriver to take the old hardware off. Because we got new hardware for the front, we didn't get any new hardware for the back because I had to get the regular pads because I didn't have them in stock. New hardware going on. Make sure when you put it on there you got enough distance that it's not hitting the rotor. Same way with the top. And they'll only go on one way, so unless you force them, you can't put them on backwards. Well, you probably can, but alright now. Put the flat pad in the front, which means you don't have the squealer on it. Then, as you can see, the back one has the squealer. You stick it on the back like so. Okay. Got a little mishap here. Screwdriver. Go. Yep. If you notice when I took these off, they didn't have these on there, so we are going to put these on there because they come in the hardware kit. Pretty much you just stick them in the little holes right there, and that just helps keep some tension. They help keep a little tension to push them away from the caliper. That way you won't sit there and they won't wear as much or as fast. So now we stick the rotor back on. Now we stick the caliper back on. Now remember, the calipers, you just got to snug the bolts up. You ain't got to he-man them. Alright. And there we go. By putting that together, since I got new rotors, kind of clean off some of the handprints and a little bit of grease you get on there, because when you go down a highway and you apply the brakes after a while, you will smell that a little bit. Well, there's the passenger side front done. Now let's turn the wheel the opposite way and do the driver's side front. Here we are on the driver's side front. Just like the passenger side, the driver's side will be the same way. You'll have to use the 17mm wrench to get the top bracket bolt out. So if I have any problems, I'll stop and address it. Otherwise, let's get started. there's the front brakes and rotors finished. And what I done at the very end, I grabbed an 11/16 wrench to hold this caliper slide in, because when I was tightening it up it would move. I just stuck it on there just enough time to hold it still so I can give her tightened up. So there's the front done. Now let's move on to the rear. Alright, so we're back here on the back brakes, and considering that the way they are, I got a very limited view. I got my flashlight on here, but it's straightforward like all the rest of them. If there's any issues, I'll stop and address them. But here we go. First thing, flashlight falls. That's always got to be. Nice. Sorry guys, the light's going to be minimum, and the flashlight just won't stick there because of the way everything's made. Ain't got much room back here, so we're only going to be doing brakes back here. So, like I said, I had to buy the standard pads because they didn't have the gold pads in stock. So, everything seems to be lubricated good. Get the old brakes out. Might need to see if I can get that any better lighting here, but you need to take that out. That feels good. That feels good. Let's push in this piston. Just make sure when you're pushing in these caliper pistons, you go slow. You don't want to go too fast, or you'll push the brake fluid, because it's got a one-way diaphragm in the reservoir. If you go too fast, you can break that diaphragm, and then brake fluid will go front or backwards, and that ain't good. Alright. Come on, baby. Oh, don't come loose. We'll taparoo with the hammer. That's good. Now grab the brakes. Just like normal, the squealer goes on the back. Falls into place perfectly. The front don't have a squealer. Falls into place perfectly. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Just grab the ratchet. Get them a good tighten here. Alright, just snug them up some. Alright, there we go. The driver's side's done. Let's move on to the passenger side. Alright, so over here I got a little bit better lighting, so just repeat like we did the other side. Any problems I'll address. Alright, there you go. There's the back brakes. So now the only thing left to do is to put the wheels and tires on her. Take her for a test drive. get your car any kind of brake work or tire work done on your car, please don't put this slime brake shine or this wheel shine, tire shine on it, because it makes it so slippery that people have to pick up and maneuver. And that's why I'm having trouble. After you get the wheels and your tires torqued, the last thing you want to do before you take it for a test drive is make sure the brake cap reservoir is on and the brake fluid is full. Alright YouTube, welcome back. We are here in this 2011 Hyundai Santa Fe for a test drive. After you get in the car, first thing you want to do is make sure you pump the brakes. That way you know when you back this thing out of the garage, you got brakes in order to stop. Especially since we done four-wheel brakes. Yeah, got a good strong pedal. Well, start this sucker up. Make sure we buckle up for safety. And it's the law. Now let's back this thing out of the garage. So like I said in the past, what we're doing on the test drives is we're listening to see if we hear any noises, feel any vibrations. Sorry about that. I ended up having to go change batteries right here before I took a test drive. So back what I was saying is take these things on the test drive, make sure we see if we hear any kind of bump, see if we hear anything abnormal like squeaks and feel any vibrations, see if we see any smoke, fire, you name it. Only God knows what could happen on one of these test drives. So, but most of all, we're going to make sure the car stops, make sure we got the wheels on it good, make sure there's no vibrations. You want to make sure you got a good firm pedal in the parking lot before you take off. That way you're know you got brakes. Okay. Okay. And we're taking a right out of the parking lot. All right. Here we go. Yep. 275,000 miles, this thing's going to have a little bit of noise. The brakes went on and off pretty smooth to have 275,000 miles on it too. Let's see here. Come to a stop. People go. I'm next because make it like a four-way intersection. Away we go. Yep, all that's suspension is getting more out on it, but it's okay. Sounds like she's got a wheel bearing. It's whistling a little bit. Got some kind of noise though. Whether it be tire noise or a wheel bearing noise. The ride's pretty smooth. So far I don't feel any vibrations. So far so good. Everything seems to be stopping okay. I'm gonna head back to the shop now. Get up a little speed here, hit the brakes. Yeah, don't feel any vibration. No vibration, nothing feels like it's going to be falling off. Like I said, it does get a little bit of road noise because the suspension is getting old. And there, y'all just fell over. There we go. We'll sit you back up there. The only thing I feel and hear is some road noise. We come to a full complete stop here. Yep. Turn back here on the road for the shop. So yet again, I want to thank everybody for watching this video. If you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of my videos and more ride-alongs after I to do test drives, just please subscribe to the channel. So until next time, bye now.